Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. Hello, everyone. So, this is going to be a very quick live stream because this matter, as they ought, it has to be dropped. Just going to wait for a couple of more people to join us. This is going to be a very, very quick live stream. I'm just going to dash in and dash out. Okay, guys, it's going to be a very quick live stream. I'm going to be dashing in and dashing out. So please like and share. And as a comment, yeah, like and share as a comment. Like I said, it's going to be a very quick live stream. And yeah. So why am I here? A quick introduction. My name is Wemimo, and I'm also known as Start Mama 5 and also known as TMO5 Candy Co. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for always coming back. So I'm just going to rush through this live stream. I know it's an impromptu one, and we still have a live stream for 7 o'clock tonight. However, you guys saw the faces of the people on the thumbnail. So I've got Senator Natasha's face on the thumbnail. I've got Senate President Akpabio on the thumbnail as well. And I've also got a few people whose name are also on the thumbnail. And actually, there's something else I really want to quickly share before we dive into today's topic. Obviously, I really want us to talk about, quickly run through what the Senate actually does. Okay. So obviously, there's been a lot of happenings in the past few days regarding Senator Natasha and Senator Akpabio, and a lot of people have come in. And I just want to quickly rush through, like, let's run through what the Senate president actually mean for Nigeria. Like, what power do they have? What is it that we give to them? Like, it's in their hands. So this is about NASS. So it says here that one of the two chambers of the Nigeria's National Assembly that make up the bicameral legislation is the Senate. It is popularly known as the Red Chamber in Nigeria. The Senate is made up of 109 duly elected distinguished senators representing Nigeria's 109 senatorial districts. And also, the formation of the chamber is based on 3 senatorial districts per state and 1 for the Federal Capital Territory. It is presided over by the President of the Senate and assisted by the Deputy President of the Senate. They are also assisted by 8 principal officers and several committee chairman and vice chairman. So the 8 principal, like, I'm just going to bypass that one. So the major part I really want to read is this section here. So as the highest lawmaking institution in the country, the Red Chamber is constitutionally vested with the power of making laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the Federation. Similarly, it is empowered to represent the interests, yearnings, aspirations, and well-being of the citizenry. That is, they should care for us as Nigerians, right? Also, the apex parliament is saddled with the power of scrutinizing public institutions and officials to ensure probity and accountability in governance. So that is the power that members of the Senate have. If you read further on, they have the power to vote to impeach the president of Nigeria. They have the power to undo and undo. So let's take that out of the screen. However, this guy, when I said that Nigerian the Nigerian Senate House needs to be reshuffled, yes. And before we start, the number one person to be reshuffled is this man. Yes, so he's the Senate chairman, and his name is Neda Imasuen. So it's been reported that he has been disbarred from practicing law in New York in the United States over fraud and misconduct. You know what? I think Nigeria has been known as a country that will open its door for armed robbers, like Naijagba Ole, Naijagba Ole. That is, Nigeria is capable of catering for thieves, catering for armed robbers. Like, Nigeria will take anybody. So this man, this Nigerian Senate Ethics Chairman, has once been a lawyer or has once practiced law in the United States. So as reported by the People's Gazette, let's go on to read the story. So it says here, so I saw this news on Instablog and I also saw it from the People's Gazette. So Nigeria Senate ethics, you might not know this guy, but we're going to get there. So this man that I've just moved away from the screen here, this is what has been released or has been shared in the public. You know what? They try to quieten Senator Natasha, but it is God that want to this is God that want to expose the bottom of the fowl that made all of them behave the way they did. So, according to Instablog here, Nigeria Senate Ethics Chairman Neda Imasuen reportedly disbarred in New York over fraud and misconduct. Can you imagine? That is a person that is now an armed robber, like a thief, is now the person who is in the Senate House I mean, Neda Imasuen, chairman of the Nigeria Senate Committee on Ethics, has been permanently disbarred from practicing law in New York. And he was the first person to come and defend Senator Akpabio over allegations of multi-million-dollar fraud and gross misconduct, according to People's Gazette. Documents obtained by People's Gazette revealed that Imasuen was stripped of his legal license after he allegedly swindled a client, accepting legal fees but failing to appear in court on her behalf. So a New York court officer confirmed that Emerson was disbarred after collecting a substantial sum from his client, Daphne Sheffield, in 2009, only to abscond without providing legal representation. His actions triggered multiple petitions as they violated New York's bar regulations. So, despite receiving several notices and petitions, Emerson refused to respond or request an extension, effectively ignoring the disciplinary process. Rather than face accountability, he fled to Nigeria with Miss Sheffield's funds, evading disciplinary measures from the grievance committee, the body overseeing judicial misconduct. That's the person that is deciding. There was a man who said that Senator Natasha's petition was dead on arrival. I'm going to share that video with you in a second. So, following multiple failed attempts to secure a response, the grievance committee for the 2nd, 11th, and 13th judicial districts officially revoked its legal license on May 10, 2010. So, this Senate ethics chairman has been disbarred from the United States. So, as a Nigerian, he went to the US to go practice law. He was disbarred for allegedly defrauding a client. And that is a person that is now sitting in the House of Senate, presiding over a case of sexual harassment. He was one of the first person that came out to defend Senator Akpabio. Hence why I said that the House of Senate should be reshuffled, and the first person to be cleared out of the House of Senate is this man. This man on your screen. Yeah, an alleged fraudster. So the Nigeria door is open to all sort of criminals. He defrauded somebody in the US. And now Nigeria's opened his hands widely for him to come in and practice law. And you all know from that reading I read earlier on, the power that the members of the House of Senate have. So such power is in the hands of an alleged fraudster. So the concluding part of this this notice said that a court ruling stated that Neda B. Imasuen, admitted as Neda Bernard Imasuen, is disbarred and his name is stricken from the roll of attorneys and counselors at law. Can you imagine that a whole Nigerian will go to the US to practice law, where money dey there, and you now go there to go and mess up? And after you now messed up, you ran to Nigeria when they gave you several instances to try and rectify your name and the allegation that has been brought against you, allegation of fraud. Instead, Oga Man ran to Nigeria, and people like him found his way into the House of Senate. So, according to People's Gazette, additionally, the disbarment notice commanded him to cease all legal practice, barring him from appearing before any court, judge, or public authority in any capacity as an attorney. You would imagine that if somebody like this man has this record in Nigeria, if we were to go and practice in the US, they will do character check. They will be able to figure out all of this. But as per Nigeria now, we don't know how to check if somebody has a criminal record forever. Even if for this man now, he has been in the US for how long? And he has this record of alleged fraud. How was he able to find his way into the House of Senate? how did he find his way into the House of Senate if Nigeria is not already gone, if Nigeria is not already sunk? Because I was saying earlier on that Nigeria is sinking, and people are like, oh, are you the one sinking Nigeria? So now, this man, you guys might think, you might not know him, but we all know him. He was one of the first person that came out to defend Senator Akpabio. And let me share the video where you probably remember who he is, okay? Let me put that video up.
Is actually dead on arrival.
So that's him talking there. That's him saying that Senator Natasha's petition is dead on arrival. That's the man, the alleged fraudster from the US, who is now practicing, in quotes, law under courtesy in the House of Senate in Nigeria. Guys, please like this live stream.
And I say that because it runs contrary to Order 40, subsection 4, that a senator, no senator may present to the Senate a petition signed by him or herself. And that petition, having been signed by her, will not be entertained by this committee. And so, ladies and gentlemen, she's not here. Now I can understand why.
Like, how did this man find his way into the House of Senate? Somebody that has been reported, according to People's Gazette, he allegedly defrauded a client in the US. He's been disbarred. So even if he enters US tomorrow, he should say his law profession has already said bye-bye. He's already said bye-bye to his law profession. They gave him enough chance to redeem himself. But what did he do? He ran to Nigeria. He ran to Nigeria. You know what, guys? All of these people that came to say, oh, this is that Senator Natasha is talking about, it is their time has come. Their time don't reach for, it's time to open to open the yash of foul. And this is one of the people. So why would someone like him take the allegation that Senator Natasha has placed out there? How would he take it seriously when it was meant to allegedly, represent a client in the US, collected client's alleged money, failed to turn up to represent the client, and when he was given the chance to redeem himself, he ran to Nigeria. And yes, Nigeria will open his door to anybody and everything. So I'm going to remove this video, and there's another video I want us to watch. When I said that the Nigerian Senate House should be reshuffled, let me bring the video of the next person that needs to be taken off. Another person that needs to be taken off the House of Senate. Let me find his name. And you guys will remember that person also. Let me find this video. This man.
December 2023.
This man.
I was among the senators that attended the birthday ceremony.
I think his name is Onyekachi Nwebonyi. So he's the deputy chief whip of the Senate. This man should be the number 2 person that should be exited from the House of Senate, because it's like cannot be in the position of where life decision, like where major decisions are being made about how Nigeria as a federation is being run. And why did I say this? You listen to this.
The Senate president. Right from the Victor Atta Airport, I drove in the same vehicle with the said senator, with her husband. In fact, I was in the front seat while the senator and her husband.
And it's been alleged that, I don't know if this man does not have his own car, it's been alleged that he is always in Senator Natasha's car. Why is he always in Senator Natasha's car? Is he not any money to buy himself a car?
Was at the back seat. We attended series of programs of the Senate president within Uyo town. At the end of the day, we moved to Ekotekbene, the hometown of the Senate president. I remember very well, as we were coming down from the vehicle, she was complaining of her shoe penny her that made her and her husband to stay back while I rushed inside the building to join other senators to inspect the building of the Senate president. I must tell you for free, and that is the truth, Senator Natasha never joined us inspecting the buildings of the Senate president. She was seated at the parlor with her husband. The Senate president took us around, took us to the chapel, and called those who are Catholic senators to join him in a holy mass. We celebrated the holy mass, and at the end of the day, ended up in her garden, and he hosted us. There was never a time the Senate president touched Senator Natasha.
Did you guys see? Person where they accuse never talk. This is a mouthpiece that was actually telling us that that allegation that Senator Natasha made, that it never happened. That is practically what this man is saying. So he's the second person that needs to be exited out of the House of Senate, because this kind of people cannot be in such place making decisions for Nigeria as a federation.
There was never a time the Senate president told Natasha, oh, you like my house, I will come back here to have a good time.
How do you know?
That never happened. And Senator Natasha knows that very well. So it is disheartening and unbelievable for a senator of the Federal Republic to act of mere provocation simply because you were given a new seat and probably your committee was changed to get up to lay a false allegation against a man that is old enough to be your father.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he was old enough or not. At the end of the day, it's our experience. It was our experience. She was the one who it happened to. You were not there. You were not there. And I believe Senator Natasha's husband will be able to hopefully put a stop to this, this narrative of this man with his cap that looks like a Pamis hat. Because Senator Natasha explained that during that period, her husband asked her that what was Senator Akpabio saying to her. So where was this man then? Where was this man that is out here saying that there was no way Senator Akpabio would have done that? There was no way Senator Akpabio would have toasted Senator Natasha? Like, seriously? House of Senate needs to be reshuffled. Some people do not deserve to be in that office. And this is the second person.
Up till now, I'm still in shock because it's unbelievable.
All right, Mr. Nwebonyi,
and let me cap it up. From the house of the Senate president, I still drove in the same vehicle with Senator Natasha and the husband. I was still in the front seat to 4 Points Hotel, where we all lodged. The flowing morning, I was with the husband. We had a walk together within the hotel. He never told me of anything that the wife was harassed.
Why would she tell you, or why would the husband tell you? Because it's none of your business. It's just like you beating a child and telling the child not to cry. It's not in your place to tell her who she discusses whatever transpired with. At first, she was in denial, telling her husband, even though she knew within herself that her husband must have heard what Senator Akpabio said. And maybe that's the only way I would have faulted Senator Natasha. Maybe she should have just told her husband straight away. But then, as an African woman, if you tell your husband such thing, you have just given your husband the gateway to forever be suspicious about you. And yes, that is true.
Of course, it never happened.
Can you imagine?
For crying out loud, it never happened.
Can you imagine?
The Senate president never had a handshake with Natasha in his house, let alone toasting her. And think of it. How do you think a sane man will toast a married woman in the presence of over 20 senators, in the presence of her husband? Come on. This is unbelievable and should be condemned.
You guys heard that. So that's the second person which ought to be eliminated, removed from the House of Senate. So let me bring the third video of the other person, because these people, they do not deserve taxpayers' money. They do not deserve to represent Nigeria in any way. And where's the other second? I think the second video I wanted to bring, this person.
That the women folk, and indeed,
so this person is the ex-Cross River lawmaker, and his name is Cletus Obun. And you guys listen with your ears what he has to say about women entering into the House of Senate in the future. And I hope he has daughters. I pray and hope he has daughters, because whatever it is he says is also going to fall back to him. Hello, Jimoke, welcome. Please like this.
Public officers may have in future to be subjected to mental stability.
Let me rewind it back so we will listen to it too. Listen, oh.
And let me add that the women folk and indeed public officers may have in future to be subjected to a mental stability test.
I hope all the men in the House of Senate are also going to be put into this test, because you can imagine there's 105 men and there's only 4 women. Why would it be that it is the women that should be put under some sort of test? I would imagine it's the men, because there's a lot of them. I would imagine they are the ones who should be subjected to tests. So, in my own opinion, this man's statement is actually an insult to the other women in the House of Senate, even though those ones, they are spineless women. They've lost their voice. They can't talk. They are the kind of women who should be able to step up and say, yes, I want to be a motivator for women in future so that they can, try and come into politics. But those other women, those 3 women, they are spineless. They like cats don't catch their tongue. In my own opinion, I felt like this man's statement about women being subjected to some sort of test before they could be a member of the House of Senate, I believe that was an absolute insult, and he ought to apologize. But keep listening.
In order that you qualify to be a governor, a councillor, or a senator. Otherwise, you are going to get this anti-market, especially at a time when we are asking for gender inclusion and gender equality.
On a normal day, in a sane country, there should not be gender issues about positions. It should be equal. Look at the UK, look at the MP, look at the members of parliament. Do you know how many women they have? I saw a picture of all the women in the House of Parliament. They are at least, looking on that picture when we're celebrating International Women's Day. From that picture, I'm sure I saw about 20 of them. But Nigeria government, Nigeria as a whole do not regard the women as anything. Talk more of them being in politics.
At this point, facing this situation in which a gender issue is being trivialized and demonized and over-dramatized on the floor of the highest legislative house in this country.
Did you guys hear all the English? I'm going to have to need Google Dictionary to define all those English. But this man should never, ever be allowed to practice politics ever again. I don't know what his role is now, but it should not be in a place of power.
The largest black nation on earth and the largest black democracy in the world. I think this is a fitting closure to this drama that was started from nowhere to this level of absurdity. And I want to commend the Senate for doing this and taking this action so swiftly and not allowing it to soar into another level of triviality and diversion. At a time our country is on trial over several economic and social upheavals and security issues, we are talking about seating arrangements, about those who are brought into the Nigerian Senate and into legislative positions and decision making that will
I already heard what we want to hear. So, like I said, this man is saying that a women in the future, that for women to be considered a councillor or a governor or anything, that they should subject women to mental health. Wahala. And the last but not the least person is obviously Senate President himself, Senator Akpabio. Yes, he should step down. He should step down. I'm disgusted at the fact that all of these politicians, they travel abroad, they follow rules, they follow policies, they know the right thing, and you would imagine that once they come back to their own country, they will do the right thing. But no, the right thing is so far from them. So far from them. Hence why I feel like the Senate House should be reshuffled. There are some people that should not be there. They can't be the mouthpiece. They can't be the ones who are making serious decisions about the governance in Nigeria. They can't be. They shouldn't be in that position. And last but not the least, guys, I don't want to be here. I'm just going to be here for about half an hour. Last but not the least, so apparently, a notice or a stay was granted when Senator Natasha submitted that petition, which means that the Senate committee shouldn't have listened to the petition that Senator Natasha brought. So I found this post. It says that court confirms service of order as Senate denies knowledge of order, restraining ethics committee from investigating Natasha Akpoti. So apparently when Senator Natasha submitted that petition, I think she asked or she requested that the Senate committee should not investigate that case, which is on a normal day, which is a sane thing to do. Because at the end of the day, these people are her colleagues. They've been in that house of, Senate several times. This was not the first time she had an issue with Senator Akpabio. So you will have thought that in a sane world, it should have been another party or another department that would investigate the petition that Senator Natasha dropped. But no, the likes of that lawyer that was disbarred in the US, the one that said Natasha's petition was already dead on arrival. So she knew what she was facing when she requested that the Senate ethics should not listen to that case. But they lied. They said they did not receive the notice. So let's read the post. Let me read the post here. So Justice Obiora Egwatu of the Federal High Court in Nigeria. I hope you guys can read it, but I'll read it out to you guys. Justice Obiora Egwatu of the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the suit filed by Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduagban, representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, to March 2025. So I think maybe that's when that case is going to be heard. So the senator had approached the court seeking an order to restrain the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges for investigating her. But instead, they refused. They went ahead. Hence why they suspended her. They deprived her of all the, they say she will not collect salary for 6 months. Hello, Glory Chema, welcome. I'm just rounding up. A few more minutes and I'll be out. Hence why they were able to suspend her within a day or two. Hence why that Amuroba, that alleged fraudster, Neda Imasuen, is on the thumbnail. Somebody that was disbarred in the US for defrauding a client. Hence why someone like that, who has not even investigated her case, will say that because she violated policy, our petition against sexual harassment was a dead case on arrival. Can you imagine? So she already filed the motion that it should not be the ethics chairman or the ethics committee, that it should not be them that would investigate this case. But they claim that they did not receive the petition. So let's read on. So last week, the court granted the restraining order. But despite this, the Senate on Thursday, which was a couple of days ago, March the 7th, suspended Senator Natasha, even though there was a petition that has been put in place that they should not investigate her. But they went ahead and investigated her anyways. So are we now saying that the House of Senate is above the law of the judge? See, now when I say that all of those people in that house, they need to be reshuffled. Pack all of them, come out for them. They should not be in that position. Because if a judge can put a stay saying that nobody out of that ethics committee should investigate Senator Natasha's petition, and they refused and they went ahead and suspended her anyway. So in my opinion, for the fact that they refused, and even though this petition has already been raised by the judge, Senator Natasha is free to continue her job. She's free to go into the House of Senate as she likes, because at the end of the day, these people refused, these people ignored the decision of the judge to restrain them from investigating her case. Yes, Glory Choma, it was, but then that's the case I'm just reading now, that a judge already said that those ethics committee should not investigate that case, but they went ahead and do it anyways. So in a way, her being suspended is not legal, because there's already a court order saying that they should not. There was already a court order saying that the Senate Ethics Committee should not investigate that petition, but they went ahead and do it anyway. So in a way, she was suspended illegally. They shouldn't have suspended her. So last week, the court granted a restraining order, but despite it, the Senate on Thursday, March 7th, suspended Senator Natasha for 6 months after considering the committee's report. During Monday's proceedings, the counsels for the first, second, and third defendants told the court they had not been served with it. So they are now claiming that they did not receive that court paper from the judge, saying that they should not investigate the case. Exactly, Glory Choma. So they went in contrary against what the judge said. So, I think this is a gang up. They are trying to get Senator Natasha out of the House of Senate. I think this is a gang up. You wonder why the three women, you wonder why Ireti Kingibe came out here to say, Senator Natasha did not tell any of us. Senator Natasha did not. You wonder why she was one of the people who came out here to come and paint Senator Natasha's character wrong. You wonder the likes of something Oju Jimmy or something, that one with the grey and white wig. You wonder why they came out to come and say something to tarnish our image. You wonder why that Onyekachi Nwebonyi came out here to say, that kind of woman like that, a woman that has 6 children with 6 fathers, how is that freaking your bloody problem? What has that got to do with the fact that she claimed that she was actually harassed by the number 3 man in Nigeria? So obviously, she is a bone in their throats, and they don't want her anymore in their house. So they are actually conspiring against her. And I hope that moving forward, this judge deals with those people who are a member of those ethics committee, because they are the ones who went against what the judge said. So the reading continues saying that Natasha's counsel, Michael Numa San, insisted that all parties, so Senator Natasha's lawyer insisted that no, all the people involved in that committee were duly served with what the judge said. So they collect paper according to what the judge talks, say, Mona no investigate this matter. But they are lying. But Senator Natasha's lawyer said they were duly, and there's evidence to show that yes, they all received their paperwork. So I would love to see how this goes. So it continues saying that that all parties had been served, presenting affidavits of the service to support his claim, evidence to prove that yes, they were all served. After reviewing the affidavits, Justice Egwatu confirmed that all defendants had indeed been served. Yeah, judge confirmed that yes, they all received the proceedings to say that they should not investigate the Senator Natasha. Following this confirmation, counsel for the third defendant, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Kehinde Ogunwumiji, requested an adjournment to allow for the harmonization of all legal processes. Other defense counsel supported the request, arguing that it will enable an expedited hearing at the next court session. So now that they've duly been served now, and now that they've been called out, I hope they're not going to come back and say, oh, we did not know. We did not know. So in his ruling, Justice Egwatu granted the request and adjourned the matter to March 25th of 25. He also ordered that all necessary process be duly served on all parties before the next hearing. So speaking after the proceedings, the deputy chief whip of the Senate, that man that was saying that the Senator Akpabio did not toast Senator Natasha, he emphasized the importance of legal services, stating that proper service of conduct, you were all served. But you still went ahead and investigate the case anyways. You see how there is no rule of law, or there's no respect of the law in Nigeria. So all of the Senate people, these are the people that are making like serious decisions about how Nigeria is being governed. And they are the ones that are actually going against the instructions of a judge about another fellow member of Senate. When I said Nigeria is sinking, people are like, hey, are you the one sinking Nigeria? The House of Senate, in my own opinion, needs to be reshuffled. And yes, so the latest update I found was that the court has heard Natasha's case, and Senate President Akpabio will be served. So whatever that means, I don't know. But I saw an update earlier on, just before I came on stage, that Senator Akpabio will be served. Hello, Abby, how are you? I'm almost rounding. I just want to be here for like half an hour. Okay, Abby, no worries at all. So Senator Akpabio will be served, and it's just item like I said. I'm still maintaining that stance. It should step down. It should step down. That's just what I'm going to say, because it seems like this is a gang up. They want Senator Natasha out of the Senate House. They want her out. And I don't know what their problem is. So let's say, okay, yes, she went against the policy, but should that stop them from investigating the actual harassment case? Should that, like, guys, I don't want to be here for too long. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of the reason why I actually came here. It was because of this man. This Olegba, he defrauded a client in the US, and his law is in practicing in Nigeria. I mean, obviously in practicing in the US. He has been barred from practicing in the US. And I don't understand why such person will be able to come into Nigeria and practice law. This man. If you go on to read the People's Gazette, Glory Choma said the House of Senate should be reshuffled because exactly that's what I'm saying. It definitely needs to be reshuffled. It definitely needs to be reshuffled because I don't understand. She's been a part of the Senate for how long? Maybe not for a long time, but you will imagine that Ireti Kigibe, who said that she should be like a mother to Senator Natasha. When you notice the kind of obviously what was going on, why didn't you approach her? You're not being a good mother to her if you think blah 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 blah. Like, did you see the amount of people who came out to start saying things? Like, I am shocked. In this case, any woman that goes to go and put her neck in politics in Nigeria, only God can watch your back for you. Because with all this shenanigans, with all this mess they've made, with all this caricature they've made of themselves, I just hope that Senator Natasha should not leave the House of Senate. I pray and hope that she continues to grab them by their balls. She should hold on to their tighten it like that so that they won't go anywhere. And I'm sure she's a barrister herself. She knows the law and she will deal with them. I can't wait to see how this is all going to portray. But then, for those of you who don't understand Yoruba, or I'll say for those who understand Yoruba, that Nigeria is the world that will open its door for Ole, for thieves, fraudsters. Because how can somebody who was allegedly a fraudster in the US run to Nigeria and hold an office as a Nigeria Senate chairman in the House of Senate? How? Because if you have this record that he has in Nigeria before he left for the US, he will definitely never be able to work in the US because they will carry out all these background checks on him. So all these people that hold offices in Nigeria, how do they carry out background checkups on them? So people are allowed to, Nigerians are allowed to go to diaspora, commit some sort of offense, and then when they are looking for them, they are allowed to run back into Nigeria and hold a political office. And this man is the chairman who said that Senator Natasha's petition, because she went against the policy, her petition was dead on arrival, even though the judge already served paperwork that the committee should not investigate that case, and it still went ahead. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. Nigeria definitely needs to be, like, this House of Senate, they need to be reshuffled. And the God of Senator Natasha is the one that is dealing with all of them now. So, guys, I'm going to end this live stream right now. I just quickly needed to come and say this, that I can't wait for how this is going to play out. And also, if you've watched till now, don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video, share so that YouTube can up spread it. And also, do not forget, we have a live stream tonight at 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock UK time, so that'll be 8 o'clock Nigeria time, where I'm going to be discussing why it is not actually a good thing for you to be dependent on benefits as an immigrant in the diaspora. So if you are in diaspora and you are collecting benefits, I don't think you want to jackpot that to Nigeria for your retirement. So if you're available, please join us at 7 o'clock. I'm going to be sharing some points here and also be sharing my experience as well of, being a migrant in here. For me, Nigeria is always going to be a jackpot for me for retirement, because as as older people, this country is too cold. It's too cold for the bones. So if you're available, please join me at 7 o'clock and let's talk that talk. Okay. Glory Choma said Nigeria is a market. Everything is accepted. Exactly. Everything is accepted. Olegba. Thief allowed to come in. Thief allowed to enter. They just, hello Abe, I'm just leaving. Please rewatch if you have the chance. So Nigeria is ilekun for all the thieves enter, all the fraudsters enter, without caring about what they've done from where they were running to. Can you imagine such a man? He defrauded a client, no be small money allegedly, and still, good afternoon, Habe, and he still did not go to court to go and defend a client. They gave him several chances. The committee investigating him gave him several chances to come, to come explain himself, but Oga ran. So somebody that cannot defend his career, his profession, when he failed to turn up for a client, now ran to Nigeria. And how we ended up in the House of Senate, I do not know. And like I said, it is the God of Senator Natasha that is catching all of them one by one. And as always, guys, thank you so much. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification, share this video, and I'll catch up with you at tonight's live stream. There's going to be a live stream at 7 o'clock tonight. And I'll watch now after you are done. All right. Thank you so much, Glory Chama. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. Please like before you go. There's 18 of you watching me right now. Please like, at least take the like to 10 for me, please, or take the like to 15 for me. I really appreciate it, please. Like. If you're watching on your mobile, double tap on your screen and it's going to record the like. And if you're watching from a device, you will see like a thumbs up there, like, and you can see the share button as well. Click and share as well. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. UK time and 8 p.m. Nigeria time. And let's talk about why you should not be dependent on benefits if you're a migrant in the diaspora. Thank you guys. And I'll see you later. All right. Bye.